I've been a government minister now for just over 8 years, and I've been involved in politics for 20 years, and before I was involved in parliamentary politics, I worked in business development in Scotland. And one of the kind of common things that was said about Scotland when I was working in business development 20 years or so ago was that somehow Scotland had lost its innovative streak. It had lost its ability to create new businesses, that somehow the country had run out of steam in terms of new business development. And one of the things, I used to get more and more annoyed every time I read these newspaper articles, because I knew it wasn't the Scotland that I was experiencing and seeing around the country. And what's great about the atmosphere that we have in Scotland today is that all of that kind of news commentary is just completely rubbished by the mood that exists within the business development system within Scotland. And we're really, really lucky to have such a vibrant climate for encouraging business development, particularly amongst new startups within Scotland, and to be able to use that to the greatest benefit of all of the entrepreneurs involved, to encourage a whole generation of new entrepreneurs to become involved, and for the benefit of wider Scottish economy and the Scottish society. So I think we've travelled a huge amount of distance in these recent years in creating such an active and vibrant climate for business development within Scotland. And I want to thank a whole range of different people. I won't name them here today because a whole host of different people have contributed towards changing that mood within Scotland and to make it so clear that we want to have a vibrant and dynamic business development culture within Scotland. Now, what you've got here today, and what Bruce has brought to us here as this venture, is a spectacular opportunity to learn more about entrepreneurship, to learn about particular business ideas, and more importantly, to just pick up some of the infectious interest and enthusiasm in creating new enterprise within Scotland. And from the government's point of view, that is something that we can't create. We can't sit along in the government offices along the road designing how we can have that new climate within Scotland. It's created by the energy of people like Bruce and the others who are involved in what we call the Scottish ecosystem. And as I look around the globe, as I'm increasingly involved in conversations with people from other countries and other areas of the world, it's very clear that Scotland is acquiring a reputation for having a really dynamic business development ecosystem within our country. And it's made up of a whole host of different initiatives and organisations, and ultimately it is driven by the energy and the enthusiasm that is brought to this discussion by countless individuals who decide they want to become involved in business development, they want to start a new enterprise, they want to create a business that can make a profound impact on our economy. So we should feel very, very privileged that we've managed to create in Scotland this ecosystem that is designed to support and to encourage and nurture new business development in our country. Now, from the government's point of view, we can do many things to help. One of the best things, I'm so pleased with the support we gave initially to the Scottish Edge Fund, which has created a pot of money which has now been supported by the Hunter Foundation and also by the Royal Bank of Scotland to essentially provide those small sums of money that, well, they're small in the grand scheme of things in public expenditure terms, but they're critical in the development of individual new business ideas. We've created this pot which makes it possible for new entrepreneurs to emerge with their ideas, with their new ways of thinking, and to find the resources that enable them to turn those ideas into reality. And the Edge Fund has been on the go now for about 3 years, I think, 3-4 years. And what we've seen from that is the most profound and positive and beneficial impact on the development of new business within Scotland. So this is one simple thing that government can do in partnership with others to try to create the right climate for encouraging new business development within Scotland. Now, there are some circumstances where the best thing government can do is sort of set things off and then get out of the road and let other people fill that space and make sure that there's as much creativity as possible put into that space. And that's why we came up with the Scotland Can Do framework, which is designed to encourage and invite and motivate all sorts of individuals and organisations to make a contribution to the ecosystem within Scotland, the entrepreneurial ecosystem within Scotland that encourages people to become more and more involved in business development and entrepreneurship within Scotland. So I hope that the measures that we take are designed to support the encouragement of that ecosystem, but what I want to also say to you today is we remain very open to looking at new ideas about how we can use our support in the most effective way to encourage the further development of this area of thinking within our country. There's a couple of key observations that I have about where we are in this journey, which I think are great strengths for us. The first is that many of the businesses, I've not had a chance to go around all the businesses that are located outside in the ballroom, but I've been able to pick up from a number of them, and just in the brief conversations I had out there, something which is reinforced by my experience right across the new company base within Scotland, that many of these organisations are starting off their business with on a digital platform. So it's just the way of thinking is just so immediately to think of developing business concepts through a digital medium. And that's so important because that overcomes, at a stroke, some of the challenges that Scottish businesses have to compete and to be participants in the wider economy, because digital connectivity overcomes the barrier of geography and proximity to market. So many of the organisations that are emerging in Scotland are starting with a digital base, and they're starting off able to trade wherever they like. And that brings me on to my second point, which is I want to see more and more companies emerging from Scotland that have been a product of our thinking and our development here in Scotland, but are trading across the globe. We have to have more and more companies emerging from our country that are trading right across the world, because that will be the foundation of economic success. The third thing is that we must encourage a culture in Scotland of constant and perpetual innovation and development. So wherever we are, whatever organisation we're in, whatever field of work we're involved in, we've got to think about how we can create new ideas and new developments on a constant basis. And that's what this summit gives us the opportunity to fuel for the years to come. And finally, I want to just say, really give out an invitation to wherever you are. In the audience today, we'll have people who are New Start entrepreneurs, we'll have pupils from our schools, we'll have students from our great universities and colleges. Wherever you're coming from, whatever background you're coming from, there is absolutely nothing to stop you becoming an entrepreneur. If you've got the imagination and the idea and the concept, I'd like to think the support is available here in Scotland to help you to take your ideas forward. And if the support isn't here to help you to take your ideas forward, I want to hear from you what would make a difference to support that. Because the one thing government can do, and government can do quickly, is it can put in place the support that will enable people to develop new concepts and new ideas as quickly as is possible. So there's my invitation to you. Be involved in this process, but also be challenging to government about what we can do to try to fuel this process, because I want to make sure Scotland continues to be around, yes, as a country that's got a vibrant business development ecosystem, but I also want Scotland to be known as a centre for entrepreneurship and dynamic activity within Scotland. And that, I think, is the prize that's available to us today. Our chances of winning that prize are greater because we have the imagination that's behind an event like this, the We Are the Future Summit. I'm so pleased that Bruce has brought the concept here to Edinburgh to give us the opportunity to participate in this vibrant and dynamic initiative. And I want to give you every encouragement to use this opportunity and what flows from it to make the maximum impact on the Scottish economy. I hope you have a great day today. I know that you'll be in for a really exciting and challenging day, and I look forward to seeing the proceeds of it as it makes a profound impact on the lives of every one of us here in Scotland. Thanks very much. Thank you.